Dan Dickau here for Gonzaga Nation SI, the Gonzaga Nation Media Network. A little slower week simply because so much information was coming up leading to the draft and then the immediate reaction from the draft. Plan to have a little bit more in-depth look at each of the landing spots for the Zags, both Chet Holmgren, Andrew Nembhard, as well as the other players in the WCC that will be playing Summer League. We've already mentioned Jamari Bouye with the Heat, Tommy Kuzi with the Magic. There's a couple others that have slipped under the radar that we will find for you and let you know where they're playing. And right now, this is kind of an interesting time in the basketball calendar at all levels, high school, college, and pros. So at the high school level right now, most high schools in the month of June play just with their high school team. So the high school players will play just with their high school teams. They'll go play in leagues and tournaments, and many will go to team camps. Gonzaga has one of the best and biggest team camps in all of the West Coast. It's actually, they have 2 sessions. The first one's going this week. There's over 110 teams, high school teams, probably about 50 to 60 varsity teams, and then some JVs and some freshmen. But been down there the last couple of days, talking to some coaches, watching some of the games, and it's really cool to see the excitement of the high school players to be on campus at Gonzaga and see the facilities. It's really cool to see the reaction to some of the high school coaches being able to coach on the McCarthy Center floor. Usually with some of the best teams, they will try to get them to be able to play on the main court of McCarthy, give the kids, give those programs a memory, give them something exciting to remember. But when you look at the roster of teams that are at Gonzaga team camp this week, nobody that Gonzaga is actively recruiting, or I would imagine would be actively recruiting based on the schools and the players that I've seen. But doesn't mean that somebody can't pop up out of the middle of nowhere. It's happened many times before. Gonzaga has always used their team camps as an opportunity to invite high schools of players that they're recruiting to come, and then the coaching staff would get a chance to get to know those players a little bit more. If the family comes, get to know the family a little more, get to know that player and realize and see if they're truly sold on it. You remember a couple of years back, Caden Perry, I don't want to say he was an unknown, but he came to Gonzaga team camp and played extremely well the first couple days. He walked out with an offer and he committed on the spot to Gonzaga at team camp. So that's kind of how that can work in the month of June. July becomes a big time recruiting month with the 2 evaluation periods for Division I coaches. We'll touch more on those as we get closer to them. But the end of June for most colleges now, I mentioned they're running their team camps, but players will be on campus. So Gonzaga, pretty much all of their roster is on campus right now. They were all down at Hoop Fest supporting the event. They ran a kids clinic, which I was able to take my son to, which he enjoyed. I talked to a couple of players. They're excited to be back, but they're running. There's limited amount of time due to NCAA rules that players can work with coaches. I believe it's 4 hours a week in groups of up to 6. And then you can, also have some practice, but the time's very limited. It's a chance and it's a way that the NCAA is allowed practices to happen, and it kind of speeds up the learning process a lot of times for incoming freshmen. Pretty much every school now asks and requires their freshmen to take summer school. And I think that's a good and bad thing. Players having to take summer school. I never took summer school. I didn't want to take summer school. I got ahead especially during my redshirt year, credit wise. But the big thing I think that it's hurting college athletics is because players are taking summer school and getting ahead for 3 consecutive summers. That's one of the reasons I see this grad transfer kind of exploding about the last 6-7 years. and now you have the immediate waiver eligibility to allow transfers to play immediately. I think that's another big point that's really hurting players. But so the college kind of clockwork framework right now of timing of things, are most colleges are back on campus working with their coaching staffs. And then when you look to the pros, this is kind of the calm before the storm, the huge buildup to the draft, the excitement of announcing new players for their fan base. Then you got a couple days where you don't see a lot, hear a lot. You might see some smoke screens in regards to free agency. But in about a week, when free agency commences on July 1st, you're going to see some fireworks. Some of the guys that were just drafted will be traded without them even having any idea that they're going to be, that those plans may have been in the works. So you're going to see maybe some buyouts in this next week. You're going to see lots of rumblings on possible sign and trades with different guys. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a big name or two on the move that nobody was expecting. Already you're seeing Kyrie Irving with some of his comments. He opted in to his $36 million contract with Brooklyn, which is understandable because I don't think anybody really wants to trade for him at this point in his career with all of the off-court stuff, like it or don't like it, that he brings. He's kind of been divisive on almost every organization he's been to. He's left, and the organization has had to pick up the pieces and figure out how to clean it up. So really interesting time in the basketball calendar. The biggest thing is, regardless of level that the player is at, high school, college, or pros, the best players have always taken the summer and gotten better. You've seen it over the years with Gonzaga players. To me, what I'm hearing is Hunter Salas is that guy this year. He is really taking a leap forward. He's always had a tremendous work ethic. He's had a good feel. But sometimes it takes guys another year to click. And he didn't have the opportunity to really gain the minutes last year, but it's starting to click for him. I'm looking forward to continuing to watch the progress in summer workouts and talking to coaches and just, preparing for next year. I think is so valuable for these guys. And that goes at every level. So unique time in the basketball world calendar. Glad to break it down even more for you. If you got any questions, send them my way for the ISO's Mailbag Wednesday episode. I'll be recording that either later tonight or first thing in the morning. But for Gonzaga Nation SI, have a great day.